today.
This won't be abused at all. Google offers fuel to flag and downrank offensive search results. Oh, that's fucking brilliant, Google. Yeah, give me one of these. Yeah, because that's what I want, is a bunch of triggered fucking snowflakes deciding what comes up in the search results. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Like, oh look, we discovered that being transgender is really just a mental illness that can be treated with therapy. Oh, I'm offended by that. Fuck your science. What could go wrong?
So everyone's a little bit racist. Okay.
Investigates. The rose-colored glasses are off. Why experts suspect racism underreported on campuses. Many Canadian universities received few or no complaints of racial discrimination on campus over the past 5 years, but experts and students say the low numbers aren't necessarily a sign of racial harmony. The data might suggest students are reluctant to come forward with official complaints. Back in October, Julia Simone Rutgers of King's College in Halifax was concerned about a hip-hop themed night planned for the campus pub because she was disturbed by what she witnessed at a previous event with a similar theme. It created a space where people felt kind of comfortable using racial slurs. So let me guess, a bunch of white guys were like, yo, what's up, my nigga? Or something like that. You need to learn the difference between racism and wiggas, Julia. It's not the same thing. And kind of celebrating a music and a culture that was not critically discussed anywhere else on campus. So, hold up. So you saying that liking hip-hop is that celebrating music is racist, and yet, despite her concerns, her first instinct wasn't to make a complaint. And this is the problem, that she went to a hip-hop theme night, didn't like it, and her first instinct wasn't to go file an official complaint. And that's the problem that the taxpayer-funded CBC wants to highlight.
Ethnic jokes might be uncouth, but you laugh because they're based on truth. Don't take them as personal attacks.
I won't compromise. It's right up my alley. I am not going to compromise to your standards, to what you expect of me. I'm going to do what I want to do and be happy and just be myself.
Oh yeah, good for you. You go, girl. Okay, wait a minute. What the fuck is this?
Spreading body diversity and letting people know that we aren't ashamed, we won't compromise, and we want to feel good in the skin we're in, and that others should do the same.
Look, everyone, it's Hypocrite of the Year 2015 Tess Holiday. In the flesh, the abundance of flesh. Here to teach your children that it's cool to be obese.
It's time that we showed the world that diversity is beautiful.
You're not diverse. You're diseased. You're diseased. You need treatment. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm not even halfway to being drunk enough to getting into this. Well, maybe this one, actually, after a few more beers.
Everyone enjoys them, so relax.
Lawyers blast plan to shield rape accusers from court quiz. Barristers say plans will make it harder for juries to determine the truth. Top lawyers have slammed government plans to shield rape accusers from facing cross-examination in court. The backlash follows the announcement of the plans at the weekend by Justice Secretary Liz Truss. Writing in a Sunday newspaper, she said the scheme, which is set to go nationwide from the autumn, will not reduce the right to a fair trial, but will ensure victims of these crimes are protected. Wait, so you're not allowed to cross-examine the rape witnesses? How does that not reduce your right to a fair trial? That's fucking insane. fucking insane. If it's such a great plan, why does it only apply to rape cases? It's a fucking terrible plan. Lawyer Andrew Ford wrote in the Barristers Trade Magazine Council that there was a feeling that the witness can appear removed from the case. Francis Fitzgibbon, QC, chairman of the Criminal Bar Association, told Radio 4 it is likely to become the default for sex abuse cases. I think it's likely to detract from the reality of trials. It would make it harder for juries to determine where truth lies. Yeah, because you can't... it's a lot harder to fucking prove someone's lying if you can't ask them a few questions and catch them out on their lies. You imagine, like, Jiango Meshi would be in jail under this system. An innocent man. Just think about that. Just fucking think about what you're doing, UK. This is insane. I mean, I used to make fun of people like Spino and Cow, people who were like saying that they're afraid to have sex because they don't want to get it. But it's getting harder and harder to make fun of those guys. This is fucked, man. This is absolutely fucked.
All right, stop it. You've heard this one.
Okay.
All right, there's a plane going down. There's only one parachute, and there's a rabbi, a priest.
And a black guy! What are you talking about, hey? You were telling a black joke!
Oh, well, sure, Gary, but lots of people tell black jokes.
I don't.
Well, of course you don't. You're black.
Did A&M shun due process in the name of diversity? As Texas's first Aggie governor and as someone who was twice elected Yale leader of Texas A&M University, I am troubled by the recent conduct of A&M's administration and student by presidential elections for 2017-18. When I first read that our student body had elected an openly gay man, Bobby Brooks, for president of student body, I viewed it as a testament to the Aggie character. I was proud of our students because the election appeared to demonstrate a commitment to treating every student equally, judging on character rather than on personal characteristics. Unfortunately, a closer review appears to prove the opposite. Brooks did not win the election.
Also die Schreie, die gingen mir durch Mark und Bein.
More than 750 votes to one Mr. Robert McIntosh. However, McIntosh was disqualified by the SGA Election Commission and Judicial Court through a process that, at best, made a mockery of due process and transparency.
Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
Outright. Here are
by
the
the sounds of
facts.
it, no.
6 hours after
so
the
nice
election
to meet you.
polls
Hi.
closed, the SGA Election
Congratulations,
Commission
the Cure
received
Rock and Roll Hall of
14
Fame
anonymous
inductees
complaints
2019.
accusing McIntosh
Are
of
you as
voter
excited as I am?
intimidation.
By the sounds of it, no.
It's so nice to meet you. Hi. Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
It's so nice to meet you. Hi. Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll.
Okay, well, there's nothing suspicious about that. I mean, people could have complained about it before the polls closed, but they wait till after. Rather than question McIntosh or conduct an investigation, the Election Commission immediately disqualified McIntosh and declared Brooks the winner. What the fuck? Like, how hard do you think it is if somebody's running for office for them to get 14 people to go fill out a fucking form? Allegations are hardly conclusive, or at least they're not supposed to be, but I guess I'm from the old school where we had this concept known as innocent until proven guilty. It was good times. It was good times while it lasted. Later, the commission added a second charge, again from an anonymous complaint, that McIntosh had failed to provide a receipt for glow sticks appearing in a campaign video on Facebook. How fucking petty can you get? Upon appeal, McIntosh was cleared of all charges of voter intimidation. None of the complaints were made by students who interacted with McIntosh. There's total fabricated bullshit, yet they fucking polled his election win because of it. Many of the accusers turned out to be supporters of Brooks. Well, that's shocking. That's a fucking surprise. Or his campaign volunteers. In other words, the entire episode that initially disqualified McIntosh was dismissed as a series of dirty campaign tricks. The second charge of missing receipts was upheld by the court despite the fact that McIntosh had acquired the glow sticks for participating in a charity event prior to the campaign. Further, they were no different than visual props used by McIntosh's rivals' campaign videos, none of which were itemized or expensed. Yeah, I mean, there's bean counting and then there's bean counting. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. In its opinion, the judicial court admitted that the charges were minor and technical, but incredibly chose to uphold the disqualification with no consideration given to whether the punishment fit the crime. The desire of the electorate is overturned, and thousands of student votes are disqualified because of free glow sticks that appeared for 11 seconds of a months-long campaign. Apparently, glow sticks merit the same punishment as voter intimidation. Now, Brooks's presidency is being treated as a victory for diversity. Is it difficult to explain that this quest for diversity is of diversity override and supersede all other values of our Aggie honor code?
Just still not buying the moon landing.
Really looking forward to Sober October this year. Best running partner right here.
We should try DMT.
I miss it there, bro. You just gotta get your ass kicked.
Amazon priming some kettlebells.
Never understood the whole vegan thing.
I think Elon Musk.
Sure I do. Those stupid Polish people.
Hey guys, what are you laughing about?
Racism.
Cool.
Hey, come back here, take that recyclables.
What's that mean? Recyclables. Hey, don't laugh at her. How many languages do you speak?
Oh, come off it, Brian.
Judge grants Oregon resident the right to be genderless. The right to be genderless.
What's the point? What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies? It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression. Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
History was quietly made in Oregon this month when a judge granted a Portlander's request to become genderless. Did she wave her magic wand while she did it? Patch, a 27-year-old video game designer, is likely the first legally agender person in the United States. The Multnomah County Court granted Patch a general judgment of name and sex change on March 10. In the same judgment, Patch was allowed to change names, becoming mononymous, meaning only having one name instead of a given name and a surname. Agender is defined as the absence of gender, not to be confused with transgender or genderqueer. Agender people typically describe feeling that they have no gender identity whatsoever. You know, like as a kid, probably starting around age 6, gender just didn't make sense to me, man. I was told men were this, women were this. As a teen, I learned about transgender people, and that didn't seem like what I was. And then I learned about genderqueer, and that still wasn't quite attention-seeking faggot enough for me. The judge who signed off on Patch's agender petition is ahead of the curve. She also presided over the nation's first non-binary gender change last year. Somebody get this fucking judge under control. In June 2016, Multnomah County Circuit Court Judge Amy Holmes Henn granted Portland resident Jamie Shoup a legal change from female to non-binary, casually setting off a nationwide third gender movement that sent dozens of residents in other states into courthouses seeking genders other than male or female. I made these decisions, like all decisions, because they were supported by facts and law and out of respect for the dignity of the people who came before me. I don't know, you guys. I think maybe we need to start a movement to make sure that there's no agender people using the men's washroom. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with somebody like Patch. Peeing where the men pee.